Okay, folks, here we go. Strangers in the Night is the season premiere of Doctor Who, and we have our first introduction to Jodie Whittaker's Doctor. Now, I know that there was a lot of angst and a lot of worry because we had a female doctor from fanboys who, for some reason, thought that if you didn't have a penis, you couldn't be in the TARDIS. But I'm happy to report that Jodie Whittaker pulled this off, with flying colors. We don't really know much about what kind of doctor she's going to be yet, because obviously she's still in that whole regeneration phase. As you remember, you think about David Tennant, when he regenerated and appeared, he spent most of that episode asleep. Then you have Matt Smith, who couldn't figure out what he wanted to eat and settled in on fish fingers and custard. And then we had Capaldi, who was just generally confused and just seemed like this grouchy old man until he appeared in sunglasses with his guitar, and he was roaring to go. So I'm hoping in the next episode everything will cement in, the regeneration will have settled in, and we will really see who this new doctor is. So far, I'm happy to see that she's really bright. Everything is very wide-eyed and fresh about Jodie Whittaker's take on the Doctor. It feels very much like she's moved finally to this place where she can let go of some of the pain that she's been dealing with. We know that Clara's loss was huge, and something that was very difficult for the Doctor to get over. There was the whole thing with Gallifrey, which Peter Capaldi ended up dealing with. Well, let's be honest, Gallifrey's been a problem since the Ninth Doctor, right? But this doctor seems to have settled in with the emotional pain of everything that they've been through, everyone that they've lost, all the people that have died, and it's just a rebirth. This is a true rebirth and a return to positivity and a joy for life, and wanting to help, but fun and constant movement. I think that this doctor is going to be known for that. The pace of speech is rather fast. I think we're just going to see the Doctor in a lot of action, which is really kind of nice. One of the things that set Jodie's Doctor apart for me right away is how easily she explained things to people in the room. Now, this is not something the Doctor has been known to do. Basically, the Doctor says, just trust me, and expects companions and people in the vicinity to just follow along and do orders. Even when questioned, Ten was known to say, well, I'm clever, and then that's that. You're just expected to follow blindly along. Whereas even though Jodie Whittaker's Doctor was very, not quite settled in yet, still confused, basically running on gut instinct, Jodie Whittaker's Doctor constantly explained what she was doing and why she was doing it, even if it made no sense to the listener. So I don't think that this is going to be a doctor that says, follow me because I'm the doctor. It's not going to be as simple as that. And I don't know if that's because of the new showrunner, Chris Chibnall, or whether it's a reflection in how we view gender roles. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out. Um, so we should talk about the companions. We have Ryan, who's a vlogger with dyspraxia. Dyspraxia is a coordination disorder, and he's 19 years old and black. We have Graham, who's an old white man who's in cancer remission. He actually didn't expect to be alive, and he's sort of the step-grandparent to Ryan. These two are connected by Grace, who, spoilers, ends up dying in the episode, which I'm sure will be used for angst between Ryan and Graham. And then we have Yasmin, who is a trainee cop. I think that I really like Yasmin. She was quick to tell her supervisor she can do more than parking tickets. She's clearly a woman with ambition, but she also seems to have a very level head. I think going forward, she's probably going to be my favorite companion, even though right now she's the companion we basically know the least about. But I'm hoping that's going to change over the course of the season. And as I mentioned, Graham and Ryan are connected by Sarah, who was Graham's nurse when he was in the hospital, and they fell in love while he was getting chemo treatments. She was bright and actually reminded me a little bit of Clara Oswald, because she wasn't content to sit on the sidelines. She was right in that action, from the get go. She was absolutely fearless and fun, and it makes me sad to know that she only got one episode. I'm already thinking that Grace deserved far more, than she got, and maybe part of the reason she's gone is because she was more like a classic Doctor Who companion, who we expect the Doctor to travel with, whereas Graham, Ryan, and Yasmin, not necessarily so, and clearly they're going to have to be characters who sort of grow into the role of the Doctor's companion. As for the first episode itself, it didn't feel new or innovative to me, really. Um, but then Chris Chibnall said that he wanted a low bar to entry, that anyone could watch Doctor Who at this point and not have to know all the backstories or anything like that. That he did achieve, but it sort of felt like very familiar to me, like I've seen this before. Um, Maybe in some horror film like Predator, I don't know, but it didn't feel innovative to me at all. I will, however, say the alien with the teeth thing, whoo, that was freaky and comfortable, and no one needs to see that again. We can skip that one. Um, and but I did enjoy it. I did enjoy it. I think that this is supposed to be a much more relatable series, and I think that Chibnall will probably carry that through. I mean, even the human who was being hunted listened to self-help tapes. We're supposed to be able to identify with everyone, see the humanity in everyone. And I think that this version of Doctor Who is going to be back to basics. It's going to be more the human story. We're going to be reminded why the Doctor loves humans to begin with, rather than just large pronouncements of how great humans are. I think Chibnall is actually going to show it. And this is part and parcel, in my mind, of making a far more positive Doctor Who than we saw in Peter Capaldi's version, um, making humans just wonderful and light and adventurous, and just complex beings. I think we're going to see the beauty in the complexity of humanity, going forward, and I think relationships will also be a lot more equal, particularly if the Doctor's actually willing to stop and say, "Hey, this is what I'm doing." You know, the Doctor is still very much adverse to killing, which we did see, and basically will set up a situation to put people in the position to make the decisions for themselves. And if, of course, they make the so-called wrong moral decision, it's going to be costly, for them. So I guess we're just really gonna have to see where this goes. This season, this episode ended on a cliffhanger with the Doctor and her companions being shuttled off into space, and still no TARDIS, in a hunt for a TARDIS. Um, what is different about this is now, instead of the Doctor saying, "Hey, would you like to travel with me?" These people are just roped in. They have no choice but to travel with the Doctor at this point, because they're in, space, and they're going to be dependent on the Doctor to get them home safely. I kind of want to see this resolved very quickly, because I want to see what the new TARDIS looks like. Who doesn't want to see what the new TARDIS looks like? But I guess we're going to have to wait till next week and see what Chris Chibnall has in store for us. Uh, I guess we'll just wrap this up now. I'm dying to hear what you have to say in the comments. Did you love every minute of Jodie Whittaker's big reveal? What do you think of the new outfit? What kind of Doctor do you think she's going to be? And what do you think of the companions? Let's talk.